Hi Andy, so it's obviously a 4-1 defeat to Stoke in the County Cup final. What are your thoughts on that performance and result?
I think first half we took too long to get going. I think there was some mistakes that normally we don't make, and we didn't make in the second half. I thought we defended a lot better in the second half, and I think if we'd have done the things that we did in the second half well, then we wouldn't have gone in at half time 4-1 down. So I think it was a difficult one really. I think before we could get going, we found ourselves kind of 2-0 down, and then you get yourself back in the game with a great goal from Daisy Wicket, and then not so long after then you're back in the game that you're 3-1 down. So it's a difficult one really. I think teams have acknowledged over the last few weeks that if they let us get going, then we cause them a lot of problems, and I think we did cause problems tonight, but I just didn't think we punished them, and I think we got punished in the first half. And Stoke are a great side. I've said it a few times, they've got some individual gifted players, and one of which has got man of the match today. So you let them players get in behind you and cause issues and give them space and time in the box, they'll hurt you, and that's what happens. So I think what were my thoughts on the game? I thought I was proud of our players second half. I thought we were outstanding second half. But first half we weren't where we needed to be, and against a team that's at the top end of Tier 3, you're not going to win a cup final if you let them play for 45 minutes.
Is it a credit to the players that you obviously went into half-time 4-1 down, and obviously games can get out of hand at that stage, but you've kept the scoreline the same and you almost got a couple of goals yourself?
Yeah, I just think at half-time the girls, we had a chat about what we wanted to try and do in the second half, the things that we didn't do well in the first half, and the girls have come out and executed that, and I think we've demonstrated to everyone, ourselves included, that if we perform like that, then the cup final would have been a lot tighter. But you've got to start the game as you finish the game, and I think if we did that with that level of intensity and determination, then you're in a cup final, and you will have your opportunities because you'll make things uncomfortable for Stoke. And I think in the first half it was far too easy. They had far too much space and time to do the things that they did, and second half they didn't, which is why they didn't score goals. And that's some good defending, of course it is, and also from their perspective they had some good defending, but we did have some opportunities in that second half, and football's a mentality game as much as it is anything else. So if we'd have got one back, then suddenly the lift from our players and them thinking, hold on a minute, they're getting back in the game, but that wasn't to be. But that's football. But in terms of what I feel for the girls, I think they've been absolutely immense second half and done everything we've asked for. And I think if you do that across a 90-minute game against a team of that quality, you're in the game.
Obviously it's not the way you wanted the season to end, but is it important to remember the achievements of the league season, obviously staying up and consolidating yourself in Tier 3?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've said that, I've just said that over there, from our perspective we wanted to stay in the league, and I think if you'd have given us the alternative to win the County Cup or stay in the league, we would have took staying in the league. So as much as it's disappointing, we were the holders of the cup, we won it last year, we knew it was going to be a big ask tonight. Stoke have improved, they're training more, they're doing a lot more things than we are, and sometimes that makes it difficult for you, but not always, as we've demonstrated in the second half. So I think for us as a club over the season, we'll look back on it and go, if you'd have given me the opportunity after losing the first 7 games that we'd be on the same points as Derby and 1 point behind Baggies, then I would have took it, and been 14 points clear. So I know we're third from bottom in terms of where we finished, but there's a pack of us there that have all managed to get the 21-22 points. So the girls should be really proud of what they've achieved, and certainly with the starting point that we were at. So I'm really proud of the group, as I keep saying, and disappointed tonight of course, but on the whole it's not going to cloud such a really good run in that we've had towards the end of the season.
And obviously tonight was your final game in charge of Calcer. Are you happy with the high that you've left in terms of how the season has gone? Yeah,
I think the last 4 seasons when I come into the club, the club was in a different position to what it is now. So we leave the club in a high stock position. If it was a stock, it'd be in a much higher stock than what it was when I walked in, and that's a credit to everyone, not just me. That's a credit to Kelly and everyone that's been involved in that journey, the players and the coaches and all the staff and everyone that does what they do. So it's a team effort, and I will miss it, but ultimately it's the right time.
Thank you, Andy.
No problem.